This is The Spot, a BYU-Idaho radio production where we talk about what you talk about at BYU-Idaho. Today, we're here with
Nathan Lenaghen,
Grace Andrus,
and Abigale Maxfield. And today, we are talking about dating.
Booyah! Dating is a huge topic at BYU-Idaho because those of you who know, it's BYU-I-Do, right?
Yeah.
People be getting married left and right and center. And Valentine's Day is coming up. So this was like a good topic. We just had date night, right? Did you guys go?
Yeah.
No, I didn't go to date night.
Are you a date night hater?
I am a date night hater. I've gone to date night multiple times, and every time I've given it a chance, and every time it has just fallen so flat and so short for me. Like, I go and, like, the lines are just so massive, you can't do anything. Like, one time we went and we did a scavenger hunt that they had, and we did, like, the whole thing because it didn't say not to, and then we, like, turned it in, and it turned out that some people only did, like, 10 items and then, like, turned it in and, like, stopped. And so it was just, like, the instructions weren't very clear, and it was, like, really lengthy. Like, it took us over an hour and a half to, like, complete it. Anyway, so I'm just kind of, like, over date night. I don't...
It's bigger every year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the lines get bigger every
Lines
year.
get longer.
Yeah, I wish they would hold it. I'm sure there's a reason that I don't know about, but I wish they would hold it in more buildings. Like, I feel like they try to cram too many people in only, like, 2 buildings.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, come to the MC or the Ice Center.
But if they had
Or
it,
the Heart.
like the Taylor,
Oh, yeah, and they have a little bit in the Heart.
or even like the library.
They had some in the Taylor.
They did?
They did. They had laser tag in there.
Oh, what?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, just
Yeah.
kidding that you're already doing that. So you went to date night, though?
Yeah.
And how was it? Tell us.
It was good. A lot of waiting in line.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how it goes with really any campus event.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like date night, I-night, and First Friday are kind of like the same vibe.
Yeah, I would agree.
And the Spooktacular.
Oh, I don't know about this.
Yeah,
It's
I've
like
never been
it's
to-
like I-Night, but people are in costumes.
Okay, at date night, because I went with my younger brother, there was a lot of people
were
in
costumes,
costumes.
yeah.
Why? Do you know
Because
why?
they said
They said
to
to dress
pair up, like dress up
Oh.
as like a pair,
Dynamic duo.
iconic pair, dynamic duo. Yeah.
Okay, I had no idea. I was like looking at all these people. I'm like, why is everyone dressed up? Like this. Did I miss? There was like a costume contest.
No, yeah.
I think there was.
I think
Yeah.
there was.
Oh my gosh, why do you?
The theme was, like, dynamic duos.
Oh,
I only know this because I read Alex's article on
Oh.
on date night, like, for the radio station that he did. I, like, was reading through some of the articles, and he, like, covered, like, dynamic duos and, like, the events, and that's how I knew they had a singles mixer for the first time.
a singles mixer at date night?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's like speed dating on steroids.
No, that's fair. Honestly, I don't know. My 12-year-old brother had a blast. Heath said it was like, he said, and I quote, he was like, that was the most alive I've ever felt.
Most alive.
Wow.
We took him to the silent disco, and he's like, that was awesome. I'm like, yeah, buddy, that was pretty awesome. It was just funny. I'm like, I don't know. I think it's fun, and I think depending on who you go with, I don't know. Me personally, I've only been once with like an actual date, and he was more of just like a friend. Well, he was according to my perspective. He was just a friend.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun because we just like, yeah, ha, 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 the whole time. It wasn't like a first date where you're,
Small talk.
yeah, and eye contact is weird and like the touch is weird,
Yeah. Yeah. I think first dates can just be super awkward and super hard. And I think it's just like, yeah, I just think like asking somebody on a date and then going on a first date, I think the whole process just feels like awkward. It kind of almost feels like stilted and like a little unnatural. And so I guess like what, when somebody asks you on a date, like what makes you more likely to say yes? Or when you like ask somebody on a date, like what do you think makes them more likely to say yes? Like for me, like I saw this, I think it was actually on another podcast, I don't remember, but somebody just said that they were like, when you call and ask somebody on a date, don't just say like, hey, you want to go out sometime? Or like, what are you doing this weekend? Like call and say like, hey, on Saturday at 2 p.m., do you want to meet me for lunch at this spot, kind of a thing. And then if they say, I'm actually busy at that time, you can be like, what time works better for you? And so you're coming out of the gate like right with a plan. There's no like back and forth. And for me, as the girl who, like, I would say the majority of the time are the ones being asked, like, I appreciate it more because it makes me more likely to say yes because there's a plan already in place. Like, to me, it shows, like, more effort.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, like, you're smooth with it? Like,
Yeah,
okay. And so I'm, like, way more likely to say yes. So that's, like, one for me. Is like, I love it when somebody just comes out the gate with a plan.
When I was on the dating apps, so many times they'd be like, so when are you free? I'm like,
Yeah.
what is that question? Like, because that question is so hard because, like, you can make yourself free anytime. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, if you want me to be free this time, I can make that happen. Or, like, if you, I don't know. I mean, obviously there are things in place, but when they're like, when are you free? I'm like, do you want me to give my exact availability?
Yeah, like, do you want me to give you my entire, like, class schedule and my work? Because that's kind of creepy. Like,
I mean, some people aren't always that free. I'm in the radio station 40 hours a week. If somebody says, when are you free? It's like, after 6 and before 10.
yeah.
Yes, okay,
That's
fair,
when I'm
fair.
free.
But I just feel like even still, you're free after 6 and before 10 every single day.
Yeah.
When someone's like, when are you free? It's like, bro, that could be 5 days.
Yeah, but then you got the time
True,
in mind.
true.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, you are
Maybe
the
this.
man.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe that's just why I think like that.
Yeah. Well, also, like, I think, like, for example, like, if I'm, like, asking you on a date, then I'm like, hey, like, do you want to meet for lunch? And you're like, actually, lunches don't work for me, but I'd love to meet you for dinner. And then, boom, like, the issue with the scheduling has been resolved.
That's
And you still don't have to sit there and, like, have a debate of, like, what are we doing? Or, like, where are we going? And, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's your responsibility as the person being asked if you want to go, right? And if you're going to say yes, to be like, actually, this one part of that doesn't work. Like, let's figure that out kind of thing.
I think it's better to hit them with a time and an activity and then find a spot that works. It, like, just being bold and being like, hey, what are you doing Thursday at 7
Yeah.
is a way better starting place as a woman than to be like, when are you free?
Yeah.
So then it's like, oh, if I'm busy Thursday at 7, I could counter with, oh, but I'm free, like you were saying.
Yeah. But I'm free Friday at 7.
I think that's just the male versus female mind.
Okay, well, wait, share more. Give us more.
Yeah.
I think guys say, when are you free? Like, to leave everything open. Because if they narrow in us on a specific time or, like, I mean, I think a general day is good. But if they narrow on an exact hour and you say, no, I'm not free then. Well, then that could just be it. Then you just don't hear back from them ever again.
Okay, that's honestly fair because I think girls will do that. They'll be like, yeah, sorry, and then not say anything. And then it can be awkward for the man to be like, well, what about tomorrow at 6? Or would it
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
So, but you probably could be more specific than, just when are you free? Offering maybe a specific day and then narrowing it down from there is probably good.
Do you, when you ask girls out, do you have a plan, like an activity? are you
typically.
like-
I guess it depends on if I know the girl, if we've talked beforehand,
Yeah.
or if it's just kind of closer to a blind date. Depends on how well I know her.
Do you have any tried and true, like, dates? You're like, okay, we'll just copy paste. This one's always good. The women love it.
Well, I wouldn't say that much, but a good go-to is just like frozen yogurt.
Okay.
I don't know, just an atmosphere where you can talk and get to know each other.
Yes.
That works for a first date if you don't know them.
Yeah, like super casual.
Yeah, if I do know them, I jump right to the fun stuff because it's like, hey, you're worth investing this time and effort in, because if I do something fun, I'm just probably not going to just never hear from you again.
Oh, yeah.
So it's best to just put something slightly less less effort forward. So then in case that does happen, then it's like, well, not a lot was lost. Just my time.
That's fair. So when you say fun stuff,
Yeah.
what are you bowling? Like, what is your...
Is that fun?
I like bowling.
I mean, I like bowling too, but I don't know. I don't think that, I think if I asked a girl to go bowling, she would probably ghost me.
Okay, well,
But maybe that's just my experience. No, my go-to thing is dinner. Make pizza, homemade pizza.
Yeah,
at
that's
my
such a
at
good
my, at
first
my
date.
place. Yeah, it's a good time where I've like homemade dough and homemade sauce and all the ingredients, and so I'll make one, show her how to do it, and then she can make one. So it's interactive and it's fun.
Yeah,
Dude,
and
you
I
really
get to show off that I'm good at
Yeah.
cooking. So
these are good. Take notes, audience.
Yeah.
worked wonders for me.
Do you think, sorry.
No, go.
I was just going to ask, like, as a guy, have you ever been asked out by a girl?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm just
Women don't do that.
Women be better.
If you were, like, would you be impressed or would you be intimidated or would you like...
Trust.
Okay, yeah, cool.
I don't think any guy would be intimidated by that.
I know a couple guys.
Unless they're just cowards in general.
Yeah.
Like they would have to be pretty
insecure.
To just be intimidated about a girl asking them out.
Yeah, some guys are like that, where it's like if a girl asks them out, they're automatically turned off. Like they're like no, because they feel small and they don't feel as manly, which like I agree. You got more psychological things to work.
Yeah, like there's other issues.
Yeah, I think that's a maturity thing for sure.
But you'd be impressed.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies.
Yeah, initiative.
Do you think that if girls were more likely to ask guys, like, I guess my question is, like, do you think a guy is more likely to say yes to a first date than a girl being asked?
I think so.
I think so too.
Yeah, because
guys are way more chill.
They never get asked out
for anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so if a guy is asked out, even if he's not really interested in the girl, I feel like out of courtesy, any nice guy would say yes and at least do a first date just to, because if you go through the trouble of asking, if you just shoot her down, she's never gonna ask anybody on a date again.
It's true, and we expect men to continue to ask when they get shut down. And so, but it's hard because when I was in the dating world and I was single, I wanted to ask guys on date, but I was so worried about looking desperate. And I'm like, no, I should. Like, it was like this weird thing, and maybe I also have psychological things I need to work through. Well, needed to, but I was just stuck in this thing. I'm like, well, I don't want them to seem desperate, and I don't want them to be turned off because, like, do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, if they wanted to ask me out,
like they would.
But I also strongly disagree with the phrase, if he wanted to, he would.
I super strongly disagree with that as well.
Yeah, it like irks me because there's so many things I want to do that I don't do. So I can't just write off a man because I have that excuse.
Yeah. So I'm married and I asked my now husband, on our first date.
You did?
Oh yeah, and the only other dates I had ever been on here, I had asked the guy.
Okay, wow, that is impressive.
So like, and the first time I ever did it, I think that...
Yeah, walk us through it.
My hot take is that every girl should ask a guy on a date at least once.
In real life?
Yeah, at least once. Because then they will better appreciate and understand how nerve-wracking it is and the position you are expecting, like in quotes, the guy to like endure, like what you're expecting every time.
Honestly.
And it's so unfair. And the first time I ever did it, I remember being like, I'm going to be more proactive about this because I can't believe that this is what guys have to experience every time. Like I was literally like shaking. Like I had two friends, it was a guy and a girl, and like we had a fourth friend in our friend group, and I was like asking him on the date, and they were like, he was on speakerphone and they were like, you got this, like you like giving me thumbs up and like all this stuff. And I was like shaking. Like I was like, I'm going to throw up. Like I'm going to throw up. And so, and then, and it was he was so nice about it. He was so nice. He was like, Abby, are you asking me on a date right now? And I was like, yes, I am. And I remember being like, he's going to say no. And he was like, wow, like props to you. And he's like, let's do it. And I just remember being like, what the heck? And like, I don't think he was ever interested in me, but it was still a fun time. We ended up like hiking our mountain or whatever. But anyways, but it was so nerve wracking. I just remember being like, it is crazy and so like unkind for us to expect like guys to go through this all the time.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that's
honestly,
that's my hot take.
That is a very fair hot take, and I feel called out because I have asked guys on dates before for like whatever, like my girlfriends and I would do like a big group date, and so it was it felt easier to be like, yeah, will you come on this group date with me? But I would say my loophole to this is when I've done this multiple times, and they've always say yes because you're right. I think that when girls ask guys on dates, they're way more prone to say yes and actually go on the date. But we'd be talking and we'd get to this point where I'm like, why is he not asking me out? Like, we've been talking, we've hung out a couple of times. And this has worked every time. Have I used it only 3 times? Yes. But I will text them and be like, hey, when are you asking me on a date? And so that's like my way of being like, I want to go on a date with you, and I don't want to take that away from you. And I'm just going to leave it out there. And but I remember sending that text or saying that to them in person. And I'm like, because what if they're
shaking? Yes.
What if they don't want anything to do with this? What if they feel weird that I'm like assuming they want to go on a date with me, you know? Mm-hmm. But I think you're fair, especially at BYU-I.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to do it the way you did it because it makes it obvious enough. Because I've had girls say, hey, we should get together sometime. And that's even, as guys don't pick up on hints, that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, like green light.
Yeah, and so that's enough to be like, oh, okay, well, I'll ask her out then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think with men too, man, maybe I'm assuming and generalizing, but I do think when men get the green light, they just need the green light. As soon as they get the green light, I feel like it goes better.
Yeah.
But if they don't get that from you, like as plain as day, then I think it's hard. I think with both parties, like both parties need some form of like confirmation. Hello, that I'm, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. In our last episode, we talked about like making friends and how you just kind of have to like be bold and put yourself out there. And I think that the same principle applies. Like, yes, there are times when you'll be rejected. Yes, there are times when like you're gonna shoot your shot and it's just gonna be an air ball, like for sure. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, but like if neither side is like a little bit bold, like, hey, when are you taking me on a date? Or like, hey, I want to go out with you. Let's go out sometime, kind of a thing. Like, I just think it goes so much better and you're improving your chances, right? And of course, like, just like how we talked about last episode, like this is a skill, right? Like the more you do it, the more comfortable and more self-assured you're going to be doing it.
Or the more burnt out you get.
Yeah, that's true, right? But like, you can get burnt out, but like, I mean, let me ask you, because we were just talking about you, like how it's like after a long time of like not successful dates, like you just kind of get so tired of it and you're like, I should just stop putting in the effort. But when you do that, do you still feel like as nervous? Like, because you've had so much practice? Like, yeah, you're tired of doing it, but is it like as nerve-wracking?
No, probably not.
Yeah, okay. I was just curious. Like, I'm not saying it's not like okay to be burnt out. I just mean like...
Tell us more about that.
Yeah, tell us more about that.
About being burnt out?
Just like, yeah, dating fatigue. Is that like a thing?
Yeah.
Diagnose you.
I would
Diagnose you.
At least here, you go on enough first dates, and if they all more or less go the same way, you're like... Boy, because first dates are the worst ones. It's when you got all the small talk, finding out if you can even like hold a conversation with this person or not. And if you have enough of that, then it's like, oh gosh, the first date fatigue.
It's true. It's like how many times can I tell someone where I'm from and where I'm studying?
Yeah.
It's like,
oh, so what's your major?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Wow.
How many siblings do you have? Where did you serve your mission?
Yeah, I think that's super fair. I think you bring up a great point though about like the fatigue. Like, yeah,
and if we had both parties participating as you so mentioned, then maybe one side wouldn't get so fatigued.
Probably not, because I feel like a lot of the fatigue just comes from having to put forth the effort yourself all the time. It's like
That's fair.
Yeah.
When you were in the dating game, like, because...
I mean, I still am, still there.
Right? Recently, as of 3 hours ago, you were like, you know what? Just kidding. But did you have like a minimum? Like you were like, I'm asking a girl out once a week. I'm taking a girl out once a week.
I mean, I would try to find more natural opportunities. I wouldn't try to force it too much, but like, at least have to go on a couple per semester at a minimum.
Yeah.
Which even for some people I know, that's like more than they do.
Yeah, it's true actually. My brother complains to me sometimes about being single, and I'm like, have you asked a girl on a date recently? He's like, I don't know, I just can't do that anymore. I'm like, oh, okay, well. Like that's where it starts. That's where it starts.
Say if you don't try, you don't have room to complain.
True.
I've definitely known people who haven't tried at all and
they complain.
They complain. It's like,
Yeah.
well, what
On
have you
both
done?
sides.
Yeah.
On both
It's like,
sides.
how many dates have you gone on like your whole time here at school?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was like you for a whole semester. It was like a lot of first dates, and then he was like, I can't.
Try that for a couple semesters. Try that for several semesters.
Yeah.
When you've ever asked somebody on a date, Nathan, I'm going to ask you because Grace just said she's like done it in like group settings, but did you ever have somebody say no? Like when you first asked somebody on a first date?
I don't think so. I feel like anyone I asked are for the most part willing to go on first dates, but I also think that's because I'm careful and I at least try to make sure there's some interest there before I ask. Yeah. So I don't really just go up on a accost random strangers for a date. But maybe I should since now I'm in the radio station all the time. So
It is fair out here at BYU-I because so many people are married and dating and or about to be married. Like seriously. And so It's fair. It's fair to have. I mean, if you haven't experienced it, it's totally fair to be like, maybe they're married.
Yeah, or maybe they're dating
That's when you
someone.
yeah.
Because like I feel like married or engaged is a little easier because there's usually a ring, like you can
Always
observe,
check for the
right?
ring.
But like always check for the ring. But like when you're actually like oh like maybe we're both vibing, and then they like out of nowhere mention like oh yeah my like partner, and you're just like oh
My boyfriend.
let me reel it back in.
it's nice that they do that though, because then you don't have to ask.
Yes. Do you feel like sorry I'm addressing all my questions,
No,
Nathan,
go
but
ahead.
mostly just because he's like our guy.
Yeah,
here.
he's
Like,
our guy.
I'm the outlier.
Yeah, you're the outlier.
We need you.
But like if you're like chatting up a girl and you're like, yeah, maybe we're both feeling something here, like maybe, you know, like you're kind of heading in that direction to maybe like see if she's interested in a date or something, and she like drops that she's in a relationship, like do you feel like it's now awkward for you, or like do you feel like
Like, do you
I
have
can't-
to pivot, or can
Yeah.
you still be her friend?
yeah, that's,
I mean, I haven't had that happen for a while, but I don't think it changes that much. Like maybe I just stop hyping myself up a little bit.
yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna like tone down how cool I am and all the interesting things I've done.
yeah,
But like I'll still talk and be normal. At least that's I think that's what I do.
yeah, cool.
No, I think it's fair. I feel like I've been like trying to be better about wanting friends because, like, especially in class when you don't want to feel alone, like if you're chatting it up with someone and you see that they're married, to bring it up ASAP, to be like, bro, you're married. How long have you been married? And like, so that way it's like been said, and then we can just be friends.
Yeah, and that person's not like, do they really?
No, seriously. 'Cause sometimes I'm like, maybe they assume that I'm like, you know,
Yeah, like I'm interested and I'm not paying attention.
yeah,
Or, like-
especially because it's BYU-I, and so I feel like everyone assumes that everyone's out for the relationship.
yeah.
Which, I mean, to be fair.
To be fair. Okay, so once you ask somebody on a date, like what constitutes like a good date? What's a fun date? Like for either of you? Like or like what's a really good date you've been on before? Or like
Okay, wait, I have a hot take about first dates.
okay.
I think first dates should be an hour max. I think that, like, especially if it's like someone you don't know very well, it should be hour, maybe an hour and a half of just like frozen yogurt and talking. So then you can figure out if the vibe is good, there's no pressure, no one feels stuck. And if the vibe is good, then you can always like leave it open for longer hangout. Like you can talk for longer. You can be like, hey, there's this thing I want to go see. Do you want to come with? But like when people ask people on first dates and it's like a 5-hour date,
Oh yeah.
like my friend got stuck on a 5-hour date. First date, they went to the apple orchard, they picked apples, they made apple pie, and they watched a movie.
Oh my god.
First date. And I'm like, that is terrible for both parties, in my opinion. So I just think that first dates should be short and sweet so you can get all the jitters out, check the vibe, and then the second date should be like,
Let's do an activity.
yeah, let's do something a little bit more fun than just getting to know.
Yeah.
But that's the girl perspective.
No, I could agree with that because I've also been in dates where it's like I kind of don't want to get up and say I have to go because I don't really have to go, but also talking to this person's like talking to a brick wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe she'll get up and say she has to go.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, I could agree with that. Like they should be have a cap or at least a minimum.
Yeah.
At this
Yeah.
point, if we can decide if we want to make it go longer or just cut it off and go our separate ways. And then you can kind of leave that with a mutual understanding at that point as well. Like, all right, well,
Yeah.
there's not going to be a second one.
Like it's usually not a secret. If there's a vibe, there's a vibe. If there's not, there's not. And it gives an opportunity for both parties to be like, that was really fun. I actually do want to do that again.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know. What about you? You asked your husband on a first date. What did you guys do?
We did pizzas. We made pizza.
What the freak?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we've just made homemade pizzas. It's like a super budget friendly. Like it's hard to mess up pizza dough as long as you just have like a pretty simple recipe. And even if you do mess up like the pizza, it's still edible and it's just like funny. Like you can both just like laugh about it. So yeah, we just made pizza like at my apartment.
Cute.
Yeah.
Wait, how did you meet him?
My husband was on my mission and we were in a district together for a transfer. And so we just kind of like knew of each other, but like we didn't know like each other super well. And then, but yeah, so by the time he was in my district, I had been out a year and he was just coming out of training. And so then I went home and then like over a year after I had been home from my mission, I just like ran into him on campus. And I was like, oh, hey, like I didn't know you were going to go here post mission. And he's like, oh yeah. Anyways, I'm really outgoing. So I was like, do you have friends up here? Like, who do you know? And he's like, nobody. And I was like, give me your number. You can hang out with my roommates. And I kind of a thing. And then he just like just never left. So I'm just kidding.
And he's still here. He's actually at my house.
Yeah.
Followed me all the way home.
Yeah, so that was kind of that. But he was like very. It was pretty apparent that he like had feelings because he was like sticking around a lot.
Yeah.
Like and wasn't making it reasons to like leave. So my roommates were like, "He likes you," and I was like, "Yeah," but anyways.
Homemade pizza, though, I think is a really good first date. Because you get to talk, you get to eat, it's budget friendly.
Yep, it doesn't take very long, so you could still like dip afterwards. Do you want to just come over and make pizza? Cool. And then if you want to keep it going, do you have any interest in staying for a movie?
Yeah.
Whatever. Or a board game?
Can I interest you in a film?
Can I interest you in my finest cinema?
See, I don't do the movie dates for first or second. I'm very against that because then if it's second or after, then it works because you can not pay attention to the movie and just talk.
Yeah.
But if it's the first one, then it's just trying to talk over the movie. Maybe they're paying attention. I don't care for movie dates early on.
Movie dates at the very beginning can be a little sus at BYU-I. Like just a little sus, you know. But for third date, fourth date?
Yeah. Once you know them, because then you can watch the movie and not talk and just enjoy being together.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can ignore the movie and just talk over it and, make commentary and have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if it's like a movie you've both seen.
Yeah.
Like you can just be like, "Oh, this part," or like, "Did you know this crazy fact?"
Yeah.
Like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Okay, so let's just say you go on a date with someone. Like, what's a go-to activity? Let's not even say it's necessarily a first date, but just like, what are some good like date activities? We talked about like making pizza on a first date. I am such a proponent for the activities on campus because a lot of them are really cheap. A lot of them are free, and there are a lot of options. And I think a lot of them are kind of slept on. Like they have like the international cinema nights.
Yes.
Just this month. Oh, I'm so sorry. Just this month, they have a jazz festival, a vision board workshop. They have a button making workshop. They have the international cinema night the day before Valentine's Day. I'll plug that.
Plug it.
They have country dancing and other types of dancing on campus. Like all of these are like super low, like cheap or inexpensive or free events. And there's just like so many good things on campus. Like you can do like equipment rentals, like at the ORC. They
They even
rent you,
do like
spike ball,
whole activities that you can go on a day. Like you spend $10
outdoor activities
on each of you. It's like $20 total, and you get a lunch and a horseback ride and a lake float. And all you have to do is pay $10.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. The one that you said. There's a jazz night, but there's also jazz jam sessions every week. And Kyle and I went to a couple. We were dating.
Awesome.
And it was so fun because it's super casual. You just go and you like vibe to the music and you talk and maybe you get a little tweet.
It's
awesome. Anyways.
But yeah, so I'm just like, and like the Planetarium, I like just covered that for a class. Like I had to write a news article about it. The Planetarium's awesome. It's literally $2 a person. So there's just like tons of fun things on campus that I think are great options. So I'm always like a big proponent for that.
Yeah. That's fair. What about you?
I think I'm kind of out of touch on what goes on campus. Really. I do like open mic night.
Oh yeah.
My mind is
time.
fun. Yes.
So I've done that for dates a long time ago.
Yeah.
Because it's enjoyable. You see some good acts. You see some not so good acts.
True.
Yeah.
That's why it's fun.
That's why it's fun.
Yeah.
Can we invite you to take a girl to an on-campus activity? Can we
As, like, the
challenge you
commitment?
as a date?
If I find a girl, mind you, I spend 40 hours a week in the radio station in a building most people don't know exists, in a small office in the back of that building. So maybe I should start accosting random girls on my lunch break.
No. We should go
Love
on like a
that word.
triple. We could find you a woman.
Yeah, we could go on a triple date.
Yes.
Boom, boom, boom.
We could find you a woman. I don't have any
See,
sisters.
I found dating is all about, at least now, since I'm in the situation I'm at where I really can't meet anyone out on campus, it's about networking.
True. It's about now.
It's about networking.
What about in your ward?
See, that's also what I'm working on.
Okay, there you go.
Scoping out the ward.
Yeah.
Seeing what's going on there.
Yeah, there you go.
Honestly, fair.
Yeah. Just like for some other ideas for date nights that I just like thought of because I just have like a little list here, but they have like the free workout classes. You can go to the art gallery. They have laser tag. They have a bunch of groups on campus, like a ping pong group, a D&D group, a board games group. They have like $5 movie nights at Paramount.
Yes.
Off campus.
And Fat Cats on
And Fat
Tuesdays.
Cats. You can do like an indoor picnic at home, like lay a blanket down in front of the TV and maybe put on like a campfire and like have food on the floor, whatever you want to do. You could go stargazing, just bundle up because obviously it's really cold right now. They have a lot of equipment that you can rent from the McKay Library, all of which are free. And you can rent like Polaroids, GoPros. Anyway, so just like tons of, you can go to the library, not like you could go to the campus library, but I'm talking about the off-campus library, like the Rexburg library.
Cute.
And you could like blind date pick a book for your partner, like that you're on the date with. Anyway, so there's like tons of fun stuff that I just have written down here that I think are pretty like budget friendly. Like there are things to do. You just have to like put the smallest amount of effort to like plan or like look up the time or like figure out what works for scheduling.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just like, I love that you can get so creative with them, especially because like I love a good date that I've like never done before.
Yeah.
Like so much.
Wait, what is an LDR date?
LDR date is long distance relationship dates.
Oh.
So my husband and I both go home in the spring and summer, well, prior to getting married, to work. And so we've done long distance 3 years in a row for like 5 months at a time. And so we got really creative with long distance dates. Like there's like Google has like a digital puzzle you could do simultaneously. Like you can live see each other moving pieces and put together like a jigsaw puzzle.
Cute.
Yeah. I've like DoorDashed him a treat and he's DoorDashed me a treat. And so then we like eat a treat together and like just chat about our weeks or like anyway. So there's just like lots of stuff like that you can do.
That's awesome, actually.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. I just know a lot of people like come to college and they have somebody like at home or like on a mission. And so it's like, obviously you can't really go on dates with people on a mission, but at home you can like try to like, or if somebody's on their off track or whatever.
So we've talked about getting asked on dates, going on dates. What do you do after the date? Do you hug? Do you handshake?
Yeah.
Depends on how well it went.
Okay, let's say it goes medium well.
Medium well.
Like you're like, you're like
Medium
wow,
well,
this
like a
girl's
bad
cool.
steak.
I was just going to say like a,
No, that's
like a
what I said.
bad
I'm like
steak.
medium rare.
like a bad.
That day went medium rare. It went medium well, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna ask her on a second date because I think that this could, go somewhere. You hug her.
Do you ever ask for a hug?
Can I hug you, bro?
Like I had a guy who at the
I don't
end every
think
day would say, "Can I have a hug?" Like I wasn't offering, and he would just ask, and I would usually just be like, "Yeah, like sure."
I don't think I'd ask. I feel like if it was natural, you'd understand it, and then you'd both be on the same page.
Yeah.
That's what I've been. I've never. But if you force it, that's weird. So you there's got to be an understanding.
Yeah,
Because then it's awkward. Nothing more awkward than an unwarranted hug.
bro. Okay.
Like
yes, I have.
somebody comes and hugs you and you didn't ask for it. You're like stiff as a board. You're like, oh, all right.
Yeah, you're like, I'm immediately uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There was this. Oh man, I went on a date that I asked him on, and he walked me to my door, or no, maybe I walked him to his door. I don't remember. Anyways, besides the point. He went in for a hug, and I went in for a fist bump,
Ooh.
and then to like.
Getting second embarrassment.
Bro, I'm so bad.
Just for this.
No, literally. So, yeah, I think I was. No. I would not go in for a fist bump. I went in for a hug. He went in for a fist bump, and then I auto-corrected. I was like, oh, my bad, like fist bump. But then he corrected at the same time,
Oh my
and
gosh.
he went in for a hug, and then he just hugged me in my fist bump.
Like you had your fist between
Yeah,
your hug.
I was like this. I'm like, oh, my bad. And I went like this, and he went, no. Ugh. I'm like, awesome. This is great. We never went on a date again. And he married one of my friends. But
Nice.
Nate's like, well, that's embarrassing.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, there's like unwarranted hugs are the
Yeah,
worst.
you don't want those.
But I'm a hugger. I think. I want to be.
think.
I don't know. What do you do?
Well, post dates, I think it's usually just like, okay, bye. Like,
Kisses.
yeah, I don't know. It's hard because like I've been like with my husband and I prior to getting married, we're dating for 3 years, and so it's been a long time since I like wasn't on a date with him. But like, so I'm trying to think about like other dates. I think dates that I went on, I usually would offer a hug. Like I'd be like, "Do you want a hug?" Or like if they weren't asking for it, I would like
Here's a
give
prize.
them one. Or if like it was a really awkward date, I'd just be like, "Okay, I have to go, bye," and I would just leave.
Yeah.
Like if I look like I'm quickly trying to get out of there, like I'm not gonna give you a hug, obviously. Like like I think like Nathan said, he's like just like read the body language, read the
the room.
vibes. Yeah, read the room.
I think, like what I can remember is I always assume that there's a hug.
Yeah.
And so that has gotten me in obviously a couple of awkward situations. But yeah, I've hugged boys who are, like this.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, my bad, bro. Like,
Yeah.
thanks for giving me $5 of your time.
Yeah. So after departing the date, like how long after the date do you like reach out to them? Like, I guess my question is like, if you didn't have fun on the date, should you still reach out to the person and just be like, hey, thanks for that. I had a great time, period. Like you don't offer another one? Or do you not reach out at all? Or do you, and like, if so,
That's a
what's the
good question
appropriate
for
time
you.
to like reach out?
I always thank them just for getting together. I think anyone deserves thanks for the effort. Even if I didn't have a good time,
Yeah. Yeah.
I still appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually do that like, I don't know, a couple hours after.
And then
typically.
if you don't want to go on a second date, do you let them know? Are you like, thank you so much for the good time, but I think we should
I
just say
usually
thanks.
leave the ball in their field.
Yeah.
Even if you're not interested.
I don't like confrontation. And so I'll leave it to them. But then if they try to propose a second one, then I'll usually that's when I'll be like, all right, well, I guess I have to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a good time, but I'm not really interested in going on another one.
Yeah.
I think it's fair. I think it's just courteous to text and be like, thank you for your time.
Yeah. And I think that if either party's interested, they have a responsibility to say like,
I'm interested.
like, what are you doing next weekend? Or like, can we do it again sometime? Or like any sort of thing to just kind of like leave that open, because then you're leaving it, it's like a soft, like, hey, are you interested kind of a thing. And then the other person can be like, actually, I'm really busy, or like, like I really appreciate it. I had a good time, but I don't think like this is like going to be going where you're wanting it to or whatever. Right. Like,
Honestly, don't be this guy, but I did this to somebody. I like texted him because we were trying to go on a date, and then we randomly saw each other at like a game night, and I was like, oh, just kidding. I don't want to go on a date anymore. In my head, because we didn't vibe like I thought we would. Anyways, and so he reached out again and was like, when are we going on that date? And I texted him, and I'm like, hey, like, it was really fun seeing you at the game night, but I really don't think this is going to go anywhere. And I don't think it would be fair to just go on a date with you because I've already
like, no.
kind of decided. And he was so mad. He was so mad at me. He was like, bold of you to assume that this was going to go anywhere anyways. I was just being like all of these things. And I was like, okay, I'm
That's
sorry.
crazy. That's crazy.
I know. I was like, bro, you need to chill. Like, because I thought I was being courteous. And he was like, bro, don't do me the favor. Like, you're fine.
Oh my gosh.
So anyways, don't be that guy.
Well, I think that's the kind of guy who would have complained if you didn't say anything back.
Yeah.
So like
Like
he
my
would have been,
friend.
yeah, sounds like somebody who's a bad person who would just be mad
Yeah.
regardless.
Let's write that down. He's a bad person.
He's a bad person. Yeah. So you're saying like a couple hours at most. Like,
That's
the day
typically
after.
what I do. Yeah, a couple hours or the day after.
Yeah. I think that's pretty standard in my opinion, from my experience. It's usually like, hey, that was fun. Let's go again.
Hey, I didn't know this. I didn't know this was a thing until I went on a date with somebody and we were good friends and like it was definitely going that way. But our first official date, he was like, you never texted me like that you had fun. I'm like, and I seriously was like, I needed to. Like, I had no idea that was a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I didn't do that growing up in high school or anything. And now, because of that, from then I did. But like,
Did he text you that he had fun?
no.
Well, that's just
Yeah. I was just
He
gonna
did
be
it.
like, well,
Yeah.
it goes both ways.
It does.
But
So
I don't know. I think he was expecting because he asked me for me to be like, give him the go ahead.
Yeah.
Even though, but it was like so clearly we were going that way
Yeah.
and we did end up like dating. But
Yeah.
he was like, bro, you never text me. Like, did you even have fun?
Yeah. I don't think you can complain if you didn't do it.
yeah,
Like
Okay.
if he said, if he
Guys, you
didn't,
guys are doing a lot of healing for me.
if he didn't do it and was expecting you to do it, I'm like, okay.
sounds like he didn't have fun either.
Yeah. Sounds like not fun either.
He's not gonna. If he's not gonna say it.
Nathan.
Bro, we just need Nathan here to validate all my crazy.
Yeah. Nathan's like, sounds like he's a bad person.
And I'm like, And he sucks, right? He's the worst, right?
Well,
Just kidding.
if you get ghosted enough, then just that honesty is quite pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I know anything about that.
Please tell us. Just kidding.
I think that you bring a good point. I think just like our closing question to kind of close this out is like, I was just talking to a friend of mine who was talking about how like they've been ghosted in the past, and I was just so surprised because I don't think I've ever ghosted anybody. I hope like no random person is listening to this. Like, I remember you ghosted me, but I'm also just a really bad texter. Like, I'm like I would rather just talk to you on the phone, and so texting takes like a lot of like mental energy for me, and so. But I just don't think, my personal opinion, I don't think it's ever appropriate to ghost unless somebody's like getting hostile or like antagonistic kind of a thing. Then I think it's okay. But I think it's only okay in those circumstances. Like, I don't think it's okay to be like, hey, like, can we do something again? And then like never respond to that person. Or like, because even if you're not interested, I feel like you owe them that. Like, I feel you owe them to say like, I'm not interested, or I didn't have fun, or like, I don't think this is clicking kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So do either of you think it's ever appropriate to ghost? Like,
I think what you said is pretty spot on.
okay.
If somebody's aggressive or hostile, just get rid of that.
You're like, you're done.
Get rid of that.
But I think it's better to just communicate immediately, especially like in this day and age where people are wanting to get married at 18. It's like you just need to let them know that they are wasting energy or they're not wasting energy.
Yeah. Then why do you think it's so common that so many people ghost?
Because it's easier.
It is.
Yeah.
So they're just cowards.
Yeah.
Yep.
And also they might worry that that maybe your situation of someone getting super aggressive and overly hostile
That
happens
never
more
happens.
often than it does.
That never happens.
I guess that's a worst case scenario, and so that might always be in the back of your mind, like, ooh, if I say I'm not interested,
Yeah.
maybe they'll freak out. But also I think that's probably just an excuse people use to justify their own bad behavior.
I think so too. I think too it can be a little bit embarrassing to like
To say no thanks.
to say no thanks, because I think it assumes that the like kind of that guy who kind of was a little bit mad at me.
He's like, it's bold of you to assume this is going somewhere.
Yeah, he was like, bold of you to assume I wanted it to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I was just asking on a date for courtesy.
Why was he asking for the other date?
I know. So that's
He's coping.
Yeah.
yeah. The thing is I think it can just be a little bit embarrassing because you're like, I don't want them to assume that they like want me, but I also don't want them to want me anymore.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that's probably where it is. It's just scary
Yeah.
because then what I think happens is when you say that, a lot of times you get ghosted.
Yeah.
Because you're like, hey, I don't think this is going anywhere. And they're just like,
But at least you're both on the same page. I mean, where's there to go after that?
Yeah.
Besides,
True.
I mean, unless you specifically say you want to stay friends, which people never mean when they say that, let's be honest.
especially after a first date, when they say that, I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Like, we weren't friends to begin with.
We weren't friends.
We just went on a date. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
We weren't friends to begin with. Awesome. Well, cool. I think that this is just such an interesting topic, and I think it's obviously like one that pertains to a lot of people, right? Because so many people are like wanting to have that companionship and like trying to find that. But something I just thought was kind of cool, just to like close it out a little bit, was in like the topics on like Gospel Library, like the church's topics. They have one on dating and like relationships. And I just thought it was good where it just says dating can help people develop friendships and eventually find an eternal companion. And I just kind of liked the idea, for me personally and my own experience, of it being like, yeah, we could maybe just make a friendship first, right? I think that's just so important for that to be like the baseline.
Yeah.
And then if it doesn't work out, and maybe you do go on like several dates and you both just realize like, you know what, like I don't think this is gonna go in like the romance direction. Like you really could stay friends, or just like, yeah, well, like, you know, whatever kind of a thing. And so I think it just is a good reminder that like to help take the pressure off. Like if this date doesn't work out, like it's a waste of time, or it's just gonna crash and burn. Or
I think that's very insightful, especially at BYU-Idaho, where there's so much pressure. There's so much pressure that the person you ask on a date is going to be your eternal companion.
yes.
So yes, going into a date being like, this could just be a really wonderful person I get to know.
Yeah.
Then it does relieve a lot of pressure and stress.
Yeah.
Have any thoughts about that?
No, I feel like you both make good points on that. I
Yeah.
don't really know what else I could add.
Cool.
Cool.
You've been listening to The Spot, a production of BYU-Idaho Radio. Today's hosts were
Nathan Lenaghen.
Grace Andrus.
and Abigail Maxfield. The views and opinions of this podcast are not that of BYU-Idaho Radio or the university, and are solely the opinions of us, the hosts. Our theme music is Finding Happiness by DJ Quads and The Perpetual Ticking of Time by Artificial Music. To listen to more episodes of The Spot, visit our website, byui.edu/radio, and click podcasts. Follow us on social media at BYUI_The Spot, and be sure to subscribe to The Spot podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Have a topic in mind, leave us a comment, and let us know what we should talk about next.